Yo, yo, yo. Gil Flores, the only one here. Is that down? It's just me and you today, man. What's going on? Can you hear me? Give me a one for audio, video, everything. We'll just wait for a couple of folks to tune on in. Tyler B, what's good? What's going on, guys? What's going on? Victor, Simricer, Shalamila. Victor R's in the house, guys. So, Victor. Yeah, I guess the chief of police has banned the use of the blue line flag in LAPD. I wonder if that's spreading over to the sheriff department as well. So it's going to be interesting now, guys, when we go out there and if we see somebody with a thin blue line flag, because they're saying that it symbolizes extremists and racism and stuff like that, because I guess a certain group is using it to showcase their events, like white supremacists and stuff like that. So I'm actually kind of glad that Chief Moore did it, but he's obviously going to get a lot of backlash from everybody under him, because I guess the story is that 10,000 officers disagree with Chief Moore's decision to ban the flag. But in my opinion, guys, I know. Hey, what's up, Shabrice? Lou, Chief. Yeah, in my opinion, I think it's they say that it stands for fallen officers that have died in the line of duty and stuff like that. But what about the citizens that die out here on the streets? Is there a flag that symbolizes them besides our American flag, which should be the only one that we're flying? You remember? What's up, Las Vegas, Mike? What's good, Alex, Victor? What's going on, guys? Appreciate you all tuning in with me. It's a cult, Big Chief says. He said duty. Yeah, so wait for a couple more folks to come in, and then I'm going to show this broadcast from Fox News that we're using in fair use, talking about the situation today. So we're just going to show a little clip. Looks like a couple people were talking about it. So yeah, I think it's the flag has been used in white supremacist rallies and I guess they making it seem like they support the police, obviously in bootlicker style, you know what I mean? They're bootlicking it so that they can have some type of pass for freedom, or maybe there's a lot of white supremacy within the police department. I don't know. I'm not sure, but cops get freeways named after them when they die. What about all black Americans killed by cops, right? The church? That's what I'm saying, man. What about like just all Americans in general that have been, killed by cops? Like the guy, the security guard in Compton, that got shot in the back by the sheriffs, Where's his flag, Where's all the where's the dude that almost got shot by the sheriffs the other day? The sheriffs had a gun to his chest, telling him don't move or I'm gonna shoot you, like where's Where's the justice for that? You know, if that guy would have died, there's no flag for him. You know, but yet when the officer goes down, all of a sudden they want to symbolize it. So I actually think it's a good thing that you know, Chief Moore banned the use of it, because obviously there's a lot of controversy behind it. Anybody hear what's supposed to happen tonight in Atlanta, Georgia? No, I haven't heard anything like that. What is it? Tell us, Anthony Hammondtree. Tell us. Let us in. Let us in now. Victor, what do you think about this? I know you were a former, you know, a veteran, a former or current, you know, I don't even know what to call you. You know, someone that's 100%, you know, supporting our country, a member of our military right here. You know, we have a lot of veterans in here, man, that support the channel. They, you know, I get a lot of emails from a lot of different veterans that, you know, tell me that they appreciate what we're doing out here, and that, you know, that we're making a difference, you know, and stuff like that. And so, like, you know, I'd really like to hear from a veteran, or, you know, a current military member, what you think about that, because a lot of military are supporting, you know, wearing that thin blue line flag as well. You know, so I don't know if it's how you feel about that. You know what I mean? I'm a Cholo veteran. That's down, man. That's down, Gil. What do you think about it as a Cholo veteran? Tell us. Let us in. So yeah, there was a couple of cops that got ambushed. They said that they called for it was a domestic violence call at a residence, and when they got there, they were ambushed. BK, thank you for your comment, but don't keep posting it. Appreciate that. You know, your opinion matters, but don't start, you know, don't start bombing us with the same message. We get it. We heard it once. We see you. You know, but hold on, let me take my shirt off, guys. Hold on, let me take my pants off and my shirt, guys. Is that down? I'm about to roll the CBD right now. I'm about to roll the CBD. Oh my god. Show us the tattoo. You want to see the neck tattoos? Look at it. Firme, huh? I got it burned off. That sick ass scar right there. You see that sick ass scar? That's funny. That fool last night. That Jose Valencia Gonzalez dude. Sick. I'm a retired police pilot. Let's read this one. I am ashamed at what law enforcement has become. I sincerely appreciate your work 100%. Thank you. Loose Gunt. All right. So, did I miss Victor? Victor, did you talk about this or what? We need you. We need your opinion right now, man. But let me go ahead and show this little clip right here, and then and we'll talk about it a little bit further.
On 10,000 members of the LAPD, which is pretty much everybody, disagree with the chief on this. You would think this time in history the chief would want to back up his officers.
Well, this is a political issue, amazing, in California. And
by the way, this is Caitlyn Jenner and Fox News Live that we're you know, showcasing right now. So just want to let you guys know that.
Chief Michelle Moore, he went woke on us.
Is that down? He said Chief Michelle Moore. Is that down? You guys hear that?
Chief Michelle Moore, he went woke on us big time. And it's really hurting the morale out here in California. Basically, what happened? To be police chief, it is an appointed position. He was appointed in 2018 by Eric Garcetti, and now he's up for reappointment. And he has to kind of cater to the board. Well, you can imagine here in California, the LAPD board is very woke. So this issue of the flag came up. The blue line flag that has been in public areas for a while, and it's to really recognize the fallen.
So, by the way, I think Caitlyn Jenner, which AKA Bruce Jenner, is a former member of the military. I believe I got that right. Don't quote me on that, but I don't know why Caitlyn Jenner's opinion matters so much. This is a former candidate for the governor, I think she was running for. So, let's check this out.
LAPD officers.
Sorry, guys. I was just saying that. Yeah, I'm still a rookie. Whatever. I think Caitlyn Jenner, or AKA Bruce Jenner, was a former member of the military. I don't know why they have Caitlyn speaking about it, but she's about to speak for the people of LA or something like that. Let's listen in.
That we've had over the last few years.
Right.
And all of a sudden, Black Lives Matter, other far-left organizations says you can't put that flag up in a public place. That we've had over the last few years.
All right, guys. Well, there it is right there. Look, it says right there, Blue Lives Matter. They're symbolizing themselves, just like a Black Lives Matter, or any of those other organized, organizations. They're pretty much organizing themselves. But I don't think it's a bad thing that they want to represent their fallen. But I think there's a different way of doing that without desecrating the flag.
Right. And all of a sudden, Black Lives Matter, other far-left organizations says you can't put that flag up in a public place. It's racist. It promotes violence. And so he went woke on us and decided to go with the leftist groups and remove the flags. Well, that really pissed off the LAPD, and 10,000 officers rejected that. So he's trying to play his cards. It's typical here in California, which is the wokest place out there. Okay, you cannot please everybody, and I don't know if this strategy is going to work for him.
There was another story that I was looking at that said that. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Hold on, guys.
The vote was supposed to be tomorrow, but Karen Bass, our mayor, put the vote off to get more public opinion. And obviously they're getting some public opinion right now. So we're going to see if he's going to be able to retain his position as police chief.
And here's what his position is, Caitlin, very quickly. He said this to Fox News Digital. We received a community complaint of the presence of a blue line flag with the view that it symbolized support for violent extremist views, such as those represented by the Proud Boys and others. It's unfortunate that extremist groups have hijacked the use of the thin blue line flag to symbolize their undemocratic, racist, and bigoted views. I checked. There is no wide evidence that this flag has been hijacked by these extremist groups. It's just not true. So he's flying this false flag up the pole.
Well, that's the woke media out here in California. They're going
to. Everybody has their own opinion. I'm trying to find this other video. These people have different opinion. Let me bring this up real quick.
Why don't we take it back?
Again, this is Fox News reporting, guys. We're using this content under fair use to talk about the story.
Firearm-related fatalities claimed the lives of 64 police officers, contributing to a roughly 21% increase from the average of 53 per year from the previous decade. And the top two causes of firearm deaths? Ambushing police officers and handling domestic violence calls. This is according to data from the National Law Enforcement Memorial Fund. And that's exactly how two officers lost their lives last year in Connecticut. Police say Sergeant Destin DiMonte, Officer Alex Hamzy, and Officer Alec Ayurodo were responding to a domestic violence call, and it turns out the call was to lure the officers to the home. The gunman shot and killed DiMonte and Hamzy. Ayurodo was shot and injured. The gunman...
So they're talking about these guys that got ambushed, but I mean, how do they know that that was related to the thin blue line flag? It could have just been like some extremist, police people against, group against police, or maybe somebody maybe somebody was mistreated by the cops and retaliation, But yeah, that's crazy. Let's listen in a little bit further.
Fired 80 rounds at police before he was shot and killed. This was the 911 call that night.
Shots fired, shots fired. More cars, send everyone. Officer shot, officer shot.
That's what our nation's police officers potentially face every day on the job. So when the LAPD decided last week to ban the thin blue line flag that honors fallen officers, it sparked outrage. LAPD says the reason is because it, quote, represents racist and bigoted views.
Well, that's because the racist and bigoted people are using the flag in their, in their rallies and stuff like that. I mean, you guys seen when they were protesting for the election, there was a bunch of white supremacists in Beverly Hills. Me and Evie Watchman went out there. We did a little recording out there, but yeah, they were flying the thin blue line flag and F this and F that, and so I mean, they're using it in a way that they want to expose, I don't think it's exposing what it means, but it's exposing what it supports and who's supporting it,
Harris, I'd like to cover as well what specifically the police chief said. We can put it up here. He defended it by defending the ban, by saying that the thin blue line flag has been hijacked by extremist views. He says...
But that's true, though. If he's saying this because that's what's going on. The views that it symbolizes support for violent extremist views, such as those represented by the Proud Boys and others. So I mean, we've seen it. You guys, I don't know if you guys seen extremist rallies, and they're out there, with their thin blue line flag and whatnot, and they're representing. Obviously they're not representing what it stands for, and putting shame to the name, putting shame to the cause. But I'm sure there's other ways that they can memorial, fallen officers, or honor them. Yeah, I've seen throughout the city. What city was I in? I think I was in the city of Southgate, if I'm not mistaken, or somewhere around there, and right there by like all like the city hall and all the county offices and stuff like that. I don't remember what street it is, but they have banners that are honoring their fallen officers, and I think that's probably better than trying to segregate people and trying to use it as, I'm not going to say it like as, trying to cause division, but it doesn't represent all people, and there's a lot of people that are mistreated, shot, killed by officers, and there's no memorial for that, it's just, we killed, another victim of police violence, where's the flag for that, So it's kind of crazy to, kind of try to wrap your head around this.
Says it symbolizes support for violent views and of those represented by others. Why don't we take it back then? Why is a police chief capitulating to a tiny faction that has hijacked a flag that to the rest of us means wholehearted, unwavering support for those who have sacrificed their lives in the line of duty?
So, yeah, that's kind of crazy, because let's listen to those words one more time.
Hearted, unwavering support for those who the rest of us means why is a police chief capitulating to a tiny faction that has hijacked a flag that to the rest of us?
So right there, a tiny faction is what she's saying, a tiny faction. But I mean, in reality, it's a pretty large faction, if you ask me, that is abusing the use of the flag and you know misleading people. There's a lot more to it.
Means wholehearted, unwavering support for those who have sacrificed their lives in the line of duty. How can he capitulate?
Politics is a drug.
So that's pretty crazy, man. I just, I'm trying to wrap my head around it. These cops have been, wearing the flag for a while, and I'm interested to see if they're still wearing it out there, even though the chief is not, has banned it from LAPD. So yeah, and also interested to get officers' opinions. So I think that's going to be our mission tonight, to try to get officers' opinions. And they're not going to talk to us; they're just going to turn their back and walk away. But I'd really like to see how the police force is going to handle this, or if they're still wearing it, because that's definitely a not a reason for complaint, but if they're out of policy now, they're big time out of policy, and if they're gonna not support the chief, and they're going against the chief, guess what? Guess who's getting voted out next? You know what I mean? So interesting to see how they're gonna react to the public being aware of what's going on, and see if they honor and respect that. I mean, honestly, I don't think that they should wear a flag that symbolizes division, and that's what a lot of people see when they see that thin blue line. That's what they're thinking about. Like, oh, is it us against the police? Is it they're like drawing that line. So a lot of officers are there supporting their fallen ones, but I think a lot of other officers are misusing and abusing what it actually is and what it stands for, and causing more division than they should be bridging the gaps. So what do you guys think about it, man? Let me know. Let me in. Let me in. Okay, let's go ahead and continue right here for a little bit.
And he's flexing woke. He obviously believes that by doing this, he solves the problem of having to deal with the rhetoric that puts his men and women in harm's way, and at the same time balance out, as a true leader, finding those among you who may not be doing their jobs correctly. That's why they...
Well, there it is. That's exactly what I just mentioned, that they were abusing their authority, misrepresenting the flag, and using it as a way to say it's us against you, and abusing what it actually stands for.
Among you who may not be doing their jobs correctly. That's why they call it leadership. It actually isn't joining a band. And so you have to make tough decisions, and it sounds like, it smells like, and possibly is just a relegation of his duties. He doesn't want to lead. You don't just cancel. I mean, it's like he's suddenly 16. I mean, that's kind of their vibe, right? Let's just cancel. I live with a 16-year-old. Mom, I don't like this. I'm just not going to. Right. So that part of it. Did you hear what the cop in DeMonte Hamzy and Irato's situation was yelling? Send everybody. Send everybody. We're under.
That brings up another topic of discussion. They send everybody, send everybody. You know, it's like all of a sudden, none of the other crime in the city matters because an officer got shot. Like that dude that shot the cop in San Bernardino or in Riverside. Was it San Bernardino or Riverside? I don't remember. Whatever. You know, this guy got shot, and there was like a whole squad, like a whole army following this one car. You know, I mean, if they really wanted to take him out that bad, I mean, uh, I think it could have took a lot. I mean, these guys are going to be shooting at each other if they all get involved. You know, why would you need 40 officers? That's like that story. That story of the guy that got shot 133 times by the police, and it was the cops shooting at each other from both ends. Like they're not even organized enough to say, hey, come in from the west, everybody's set up on the east, or everybody's on the west side, so come in from the west side, you know? Don't come from the east side because that'll be crossfire. No, they just all, you know, swarm in, and all of a sudden, and not only that, but that situation was involving a backfire. A car backfired passing the police station. I don't remember where it was. A car backfires, and all of a sudden, they got like a swarm, like all units, you know? So, anyways, let's go and continue here real quick.
Everybody, you're in the military? He meant that.
And what's sad is that a lot of times they don't have the support. So now we have a police chief who's too busy trying to take down flags instead of working to make sure we're recruiting more cops, making sure they have adequate funding, making sure they actually have competitive salaries, and so they have the resources to do what they need to do. But instead, we're going on these, you know, these pop culture type of crusades. Oh, we're going to get rid of the flag, just as all symbolic. Well, look, I think a lot of people who are dealing with the high crime rates right now, they don't care about your symbolism. They want to have safe streets, and so that's really what should be the priority.
Yeah.
Well, and
yeah.
let's get in here
Right.
with Vice President for the National Fraternal Order of Police, because he said exactly what you're saying. He painted a picture of the landscape and why exactly it has led to this. He said it's difficult to express the level of utter disgust and disappointment with the chief's politically pandering directive to remove the thin blue line flags and memorials for fallen officers from all public areas within our police station. He says this came as a result of complaints from anti-police criminal apologists and activists who hold too much sway over our city leaders and, unfortunately, our chief. Amy, that is the climate that has not only led to a rise in ambush and death by suicide and horrible things that afflict police officers every day, including a thinning out of the ranks, but then the fact that the police chiefs don't even have their backs. How, as Americans, are we supposed to show our support? What other symbol is there to honor those officers who have died and fallen in the line of duty?
Well, the symbol right there that you talk.
Yeah, I don't understand why this lady's so upset. You know, like why is she so mad? Like come on, it's really not that big of a deal. You know, it's just you know, they disrespected our flag. They made it their own. They put a twist on it. You know, and she's so pissed off about it. You know, it's like just accept it. Accept what it is. I mean, maybe the chief is trying to get his officers from not getting ambushed for wearing their thin blue line, you know. Plus, we really just need, you know, officers that are out here protecting the public. We don't need another gang, you know. We don't need another division. We don't need another separation. You know, we need good officers that are out here that are going to be doing their job, and you know, looking for actual criminals, not making people criminals, but looking for actual criminals, and handling that situation, you know. But yeah, we definitely don't need law enforcement, you know, using certain things to cause division. You know, it's just not good. You know, so.
About it means something, and it means something to the people who've lost officers. You go back 9 years to Detective Ramos and Lou, both shot down in Brooklyn. We're on the 9-year anniversary. Do you know what Maritza Ramos, his wife, left behind, the widow, has done for the last 9 years? She has been out in Brooklyn doing police relations, taking things to children, taking things into neighborhoods to make those relationships better. She hasn't been sitting on the sidelines. So to her, that thin blue line, it means more than even the loss of life of her husband. It means, I want this not to happen again. So are we going to say to her,
Well, what about the good old American flag folded up in honor of the fallen hero, or if he was a hero, you know? See, the thing that they don't understand is these cops are causing, you know, I mean, I'm not saying it's their fault they're getting shot, but they're causing hate, you know? They're causing all this hate, and people don't respect the police these days, you know, because they're so corrupt, you know, and they're so, you know, they're out here, you know, trying to make us criminals, like I just spoke about, you know, and you know, and they don't understand the division that they're causing, you know, by treating the people like that. They're supposed to be out here to keep people safe and to be you know, peacekeepers. But I mean, I've seen a lot of, you know, just bad policing, you know. I saw a video the other day of a guy getting pulled over, and you know, obviously the dude has his gun out walking up to the car, you know, and you know, he's right there, like, you know, it's just a bunch of photographers taking pictures of a vehicle, of a Lamborghini, I think it was, and the cops roll up on him with a gun drawn, you know, like, come on, dude. I mean, they need to use better judgment, if you ask me, you know, because this just excessive use of abuse of authority, um, excessive use of force. You know, it's just it's not being tolerated anymore, and people are waking up. You know, and you know, but I'm not saying I'm not supporting people that, you know, hate cops, or that, you know, ambush cops, or that, you know, go after cops like that. You know, because you know, I don't wish violence or death on anybody. You know, we're all human out here. We all have a job to do. We all have lives. We all have families. You know, we're all equal. You know, the only difference is, you know, this guy has the authority to take us to jail. You know, this guy has the authority to abuse his power and take us to jail. You know, and then if you're going to go ahead and do that, abuse your power, you know, then you're going to get exposed. You know, and the problem is a lot of people that get harassed and you know, mistreated by the cops, they don't say anything. You know, they just go on with their day. They live tomorrow. They live today. They go on for tomorrow. You know, and that's not the way that you let others know that there's dangerous individuals out here. You know, they should definitely be honoring, respecting their oath that they took, and, you know, taking that badge to another level, and you know, bridging those gaps in the community, you know, becoming a community member and helping people out, you know. Instead, they just want to jam you up for everything, you know. Oh, everybody out of the car, let's search you up, you know. Last night we got a call, excuse me. It was under the 10 freeway. They had a car pulled over, and they found drugs in the car, you know. But that was a crash unit that was following them. It was two gang units, you know, those cars that don't have the lights on the top. So I'm sure these guys were already being investigated, you know, and they found the opportunity to take them down or whatever, you know. But you know, I mean, you got to thank them for the good that they do, you know, taking drugs off the streets that are killing our kids, you know, and you know, you got to expose them for the bad that they do when they, you know, mistreat us and send us through the justice system for no reason. You know, that's another reason that that we're out here filming the cops, you know. Tim 105, appreciate you. The thin blue line serve the corrupt politicians. You know what? And yeah, you're right, you know. And this is why we live in the world we live in now, with a lot of racist and division, because of, you know, the things that our politicians are supporting. You know, Top Rock says politicians are 100% at fault. Yeah, Tommy, I understand what you're saying on that one. But you know what? Once they're, who knows what the investigation is? That's why we don't get too deep to, that's why I don't like, hey, what are you doing? Why are you searching? Like, I don't get too deep into it because I like to observe. I get there, I observe the situation, and then if I see something that looks strange, then I'll open my mouth. But if they're there, doing their thing, and if they actually, you know, caught somebody for doing something they're not supposed to, I mean, and what can you do about that? You got caught breaking the law. We all know that there's laws, and if you get caught, you're gonna go to jail. If you break them. So we're all adults. We're adults out here. We know what we're doing. We're all grown individuals, and definitely, if somebody's breaking the law, then obviously, just like me, if I break the law, I have to pay the price straight out. Appreciate you, Mike D. 200K, Shanduli Army, nice work, thank you. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. Choices have consequences. That's correct. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Not everybody is an adult. Everybody has a grown brain in their head. You know what I mean? Come on. You're not gonna tell me that if you're out here doing bad things that you don't know what you're doing. Come on, dude. You're smarter than that. You gotta do things smart. If you're gonna be out there breaking the law, expect for the cops to be on you. Because these guys, especially your cell phone. Your cell phone is the number one rat that you got right in your hands. And, I'm sure that they have, access to track you through your phones. If they put a tap on your phone, then they have all your messages. They have all your phone calls. They're listening in. Bust on my YouTube plaque. I never got one, Slow. They don't like me because I have my content's not lovable. Is that the I gotta contact them, see what's up, because they owe me 2 plaques now. 100K and 200K, bastards. YouTube, let me in. Oreo pudding. Somebody said something about a San Bernardino cop cheating on his wife. I did see that, but it kind of went. Oh, here it is. FTC audits on duty. Damn, I didn't hear about that one, but that's abuse of their of taxpayers' money right there. They're going to be doing stuff like that while on duty. Come on. Yeah, Slow, you got one? Oh, you're almost there, huh? You're almost at 100K? Yeah, no, they said that they're supposed to offer you the plaque and it's supposed to be on your studio when it's available, but I've never seen anything like that. So maybe I'll contact them, see what they say. But somebody told me that you can't have any videos on your page that are a yellow dollar sign. So that might be the reason why I never got invited. Anyways, yeah, man. Yeah, over there in Slow, man, you see how those cops treat Slow out there, man. They're abusing their power and mistreating people just for keeping them accountable. Like all of a sudden they want to search Slow every time he pops up, or they want to harass him. It's like, why? Because you cops, you got exposed. You're being exposed every day. This guy's out here filming you, and they don't like it. So now it's retaliation time. That's abuse of their power. So, and it also could be it might not be racist towards like color of skin, but it would definitely be towards I think it might be like a little bit more like how do you say, I guess, thin blue line versus the public. That sick ass division. What's up, River? Yeah, man. So if anybody wants to come on panel, let me know. Let's have a discussion. SGBnews1@gmail.com. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about it, if anybody has an opinion about it. jump on in. The sgbnews1@gmail.com. Or you can also reach me at freedomfightamerica@gmail.com. freedomfightamerica@gmail.com. I'll go ahead and check my email, make sure I don't miss anybody. But yeah, I think it's interesting that the cops are so pissed off about it. Like honestly, if the cops were out here, if they were not abusing and causing that division, then I mean, I think people would support it more. But I think more people see it as a disrespect to the American flag, and that's one of the number one reasons people don't support it. But the whole point of them banning it is because white supremacists, like there's cults and groups that are using the flag, and you know what, that symbolizes the police. So what are they saying, that these are the police families, or these are the police officers themselves that are in these rallies off duty, or what? But yeah, they should definitely I'm glad that hopefully it sticks and they get rid of it completely, and then we don't have anything to say about that then blue line. And then we can say, hey, you're just like me, there's no color lines, there's no division. So let me know what you guys think. Check my email, see if anybody tuned in real quick. Four o'clock. All right. I gotta jump on a call at 5. So if we get close to that, and if I don't see it, guys, let me know. But I just linked up with a new YouTube manager that wants to have a little discussion about the channel and how to make things better. So I think that'll be beneficial. Let's see, I couldn't find that video about the 133 shots fired into a vehicle. Do you guys know what story I'm talking about, though? I think it was like on the east side or something. It wasn't in California, though. I think there's a documentary on Netflix about it, though. You guys know what I'm talking about? Let's see. These cops make more than most average people. Couple that with qualified immunity, you should have a really big problem. Yeah, Netflix has it. What's the name of it, Mike D? 137 shots. Netflix, 137 shots. Let's go. Cleveland, there you go. Yeah, in Cleveland, this guy passes by the police station, and his car backfires. And all of a sudden, he has the entire department on his behind. Like, it was like insane. I think I found it.
The national conversation on policing.
Okay. I think I found it right here, guys. Thanks, Mike D. Appreciate you. See, I'm never prepared without you guys.
African American communities is focused on Cleveland today after a major federal settlement and a controversial verdict. The Justice Department has reached an agreement with Cleveland over a pattern of what it calls unreasonable and unnecessary force by police. A probe last year found unlawful abuses across hundreds of cases. The federal settlement could lead to independent oversight and revised policies. This comes just days after an acquittal in a case that helped launch the probe. On Saturday, Officer Michael Brillo.
This is in appreciation of democracy now. 1.27 million subscribers this channel has, and we're using this in fair use. That's my disclaimer. Over.
Was found not guilty of manslaughter for the fatal shootings of 2 unarmed African Americans in their car. In November 2012, Brillo was one of 13 officers who fired 137 rounds at Timothy Russell and Melissa Williams after a 22-mile-long high-speed chase. The incident began after police tried to stop Russell for a wrong turn. After Russell sped away, more officers then reported gunfire from his car, but there were no guns. Instead, prosecutors say the car was making noises from backfiring.
You know what's interesting about this story, guys, and you guys go check this out on Netflix, 137 shots. You know, even the lead sergeant, you know, even pulls out her service weapon and starts firing. You know, like, it was crazy. Like, this was a crazy document, or a crazy little, I would say, little documentary on Cleveland, because I mean, it didn't happen here in California, but you know, it just goes to show the leadership, man. When you have poor leadership, everything else falls apart, you know. And hopefully Chief Moore is trying to be a good leader and trying to make things better for his community, you know, by getting rid of that thin blue line flag, you know. But here, I think, man, it's just a lack of leadership right here. You know, these cops were unhinged. Like I said, they came in from all directions. There was no organization. There was no, you know, there was no leadership. Everybody's just haywire, boom, 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 you know, just firing off like a bunch of madmen, you know. And I bet you they all had thin blue line flags on too.
The chase involved speeds of up to 100 miles per hour. More than 60 police cruisers took part, even though the rules for chases allow only
60 cruisers were chasing this guy, man. And that sounds like what just happened in San Bernardino, you know, with these like 60 patrol vehicles after one single vehicle, you know. Like, they could have just followed him with a helicopter, found out where he's going, surrounded the place, and took him down that way. You know, they had to bring in like a gang of fools.
2. After the other officers had stopped shooting at the victim's car, Officer Brillo mounted the hood of the car and fired at least 15 shots through the windshield. Timothy Russell was shot 23 times, Melissa Williams 24 times. But in a verdict on Saturday, Judge John O'Donnell said he cannot prove Brillo shot the fatal bullets, since 12 other officers also opened fire. O'Donnell also said Brillo had grounds to...
Oh my God, did you guys hear that? This guy jumps on the hood of the car. He's firing down from the hood of the car like this. Boom, 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 boom. He's standing on top of the hood. Fires 15 more rounds into the car because he said he's in fear because he doesn't know if there's bullets flying towards him. He doesn't know where they're coming from. But yet it was his own officers that were, you know, on the opposite end. You know, the car's right here in the middle, and you got officers on both ends firing at each other. Crossfires, big time, you know? And this guy was found not guilty.
Fear for his safety.
Find by a preponderance of the evidence that Brillo's decision to use deadly force against Russell and Williams was based on probable cause to believe that they threatened imminent serious bodily harm to him and the other officers, not to mention the public.
With backfire? With backfire, they were in fear of backfire. They found no weapons in the car. That should have been number one. Okay, number one, they had no weapons. Number two, there was no gunpowder in the car stating that there was any shots fired from the vehicle, you know. And then, you know, and then we have the unhinged sergeant that didn't even know what to do. You guys got to watch that story, man. Watch that story on Netflix if you can. Because it's very interesting, man. These guys are criminals. This is criminal behavior.
I therefore find that his initial decision to use force was constitutionally reasonable.
A report from the Ohio Attorney General called the chase and shooting the result of, quote, a systemic failure in the Cleveland Police Department. More than 60 officers were suspended over their roles. But Brillo was the only officer to be criminally charged. The families of Timothy Russell and Melissa Williams have voiced anger at Brillo's acquittal. This is Renee Robinson, a cousin of Melissa Williams, and Paul Costello, attorney for Timothy Russell's family.
That was my cousin. That was my baby cousin. I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. We have no justice. They killing kids. They killing women now. They doing whatever they want to do, and nobody is not even doing nothing.
Cleveland, you guys need accountability out there, man. I know this story was it's not a fresh story, but man, I'm sure a lot of things have changed, since, and other things have happened since as well in Cleveland, as you guys know.
Not guilty is not the same as innocent. Jumping up on the hood of a car and firing 49 bullets down into 2 unarmed people can hardly be said to be innocent. And while the law and the court, and we respect the decision, found him not guilty, we want it to be known that obviously we feel that he's culpable and that he is far from innocent, as was the city of Cleveland in their role in this situation.
Paul Costello is attorney for Timothy Russell's family. The not guilty verdict by the judge sparked a day of protests in Cleveland. Hundreds of people rallied outside Cleveland Justice Center and near the home of the county prosecutor.
After 4,000 cases of injustice, we just adding another one to it. That's right, brother. That's right.
Yeah, so that's crazy. 49 shots. I thought I heard 15 shots, but the lady just had 49 shots fired. Let me see if I can rewind that real quick.
Sparked a day of protests in Cleveland.
City of Cleveland in their role in this situation.
Paul Costello is attorney for Timothy Russell's family. The not guilty verdict by the judge sparked a day of protests in Cleveland. Hundreds of people rallied outside Cleveland Justice Center and near the home of the county prosecutor.
After 4,000 cases of injustice, we just add.
Yeah, I guess I missed it again, but man, that's crazy. Like how many bullets do you think it takes to take somebody out? We've all heard of stories of people getting shot one time and they're done. This you have 15 officers, or it was 15 officers that were firing at the same time from all directions, and then you got this gung-ho, gung-ho crazy guy that says, I don't know where the shots are coming from, so I jumped on the hood of the car and started firing in. It's like, okay, if you don't know where the bullets are coming from, wouldn't you take cover? Like, wouldn't you try to talk to your people? Like, hold your fire, what's going on? But no, they decided, this guy decides to be the hero, takes no regard, thinks of nobody, he has no regards for his own life at this point, should I say. He jumps on the hood and just starts, firing into the car. It's like, what do you think, like, honestly, like, how many bullets do you think it's going to take, to stop a couple of individuals that were unarmed, so this is a reason why police get the hate, and unfortunately there's situations like this that they don't they don't represent all police, they don't represent all cities and states. This is not how police are run everywhere, but when you see stuff in your local areas where people are getting shot in the back, from running from the cops and stuff like that. I mean, it falls all in line with, just this criminal behavior, this poor leadership, and yeah, it's crazy, man. And, it's like, what can we do about it? All we can do is get out there and film the cops to keep them a little bit more honest, So people wonder why we out there filming the cops and let them do their job, and you have no right to film them, leave them alone. We hear all this negativity about filming the cops, but and then we end up with stuff like this when nobody's looking. There was no cameras there on that chase, and then when they do corner in a suspect, what do? They block it off 30, 50 feet back so nobody can see what's going on, so it's like, that's why I encourage anybody out there, film the cops, man. Anytime they come up on you, let them know that I know my rights and I have every right to film you. you know, and I'm going to keep you accountable today. Like, you know, why are you stopping me? You know, don't talk to me. Best thing to say to the cops is, I don't answer questions, man. Leave me alone. You know, and another good thing is to walk away from them. You know, if they're telling you, hey, you know, what are you doing right here? You know, get out of here or whatever. Give me your information. All right, hey, I don't answer questions. Then leave me alone and just start walking away. They can't get you for loitering or trespassing if you're not loitering or trespassing. You know, they definitely abuse their authority, you know, to say, you know, hey, you're trespassing right now. Let me get your ID. You know, and that's a pretty sad situation where in this day and age, you know, in this America, you know, in the history that we got and everything that we've been through, the police are still violating people's rights out there. Still violating people's rights. I just had one of our supporters, one of our fellow, you know, live streamers right here, emailed me and said that he was harassed by the cops, you know, and he wants to know what he can do about it. And I sent him a couple of links, you know, to Pruneyard versus Robbins and Ohio versus I don't know who. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Um, you know, and these are pretty good cases to know about. Terry versus Ohio. Let me pull this up for you guys real quick because I want you guys to know about this as well. You know, under the Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, a police officer may stop a suspect on the streets and frisk him or her without probable cause to arrest if a police officer has reasonable suspicion that the person has committed, is committing, or is about to commit a crime and has a reasonable belief that the person may be armed or presently dangerous. Okay, so this is the only reason. Okay, they have to have a reason. They have to have seen something. They have to be a witness to something, for them to say, "Hey, come over here so we can search you." You know, they definitely have to have a better reason than, "Hey, you're you know, you're not supposed to be here. Why are you sitting here? Give me your ID." You know, this is Terry versus Ohio, and this is what the sheriff's department are using this case to detain people. Oh, look, the Cleveland detective on a downtown beat, which had been patrolling for many years, observed two strangers. Check out the story though. Like this is what symbolizes Terry versus Ohio. Okay, observed two strangers on a street corner. He saw them proceed alternately back and forth along the identical route. So they were pacing back and forth in the identical route, okay? Staring into the same store window, which they did for a total of 24 times. So, you know, I understand, okay, if somebody's hanging out in front of a store, acting suspicious, like pacing back and forth, looking inside, maybe it looks like they're dressed with, you know, break-in gear and stuff like that. You know, but you have to have a reasonable, articulate suspicion and reason to detain somebody. So these guys, I think maybe they might have had somewhat of a reason in this kind of case, you know, to search this guy. Each completion of the route was followed by a conference between the two on a corner, at one of which they were joined by a third man who left swiftly. Suspecting the two men of casing a job or stick-up, the officers followed them and saw them rejoin the third man a couple of blocks away in front of a store. The officers approached the three, identified himself as a policeman, and asked their names. The men mumbled something. Let's see. McFadden spun petitioner around, patted down his outside clothing found on his overcoat pocket, but one was able to remove a pistol. Okay, so in a case like this where these guys are, it looks like they're casing a joint and they're being suspicious. I mean, I understand that, but the story that my guy tells me over here is that he was just outside sitting in a parking lot, and then the cops all of a sudden they come up and they're asking him for his name and you have ID and you're trespassing. Like who says that they're being trespassed? You know? Let me see. So okay, the officer down his outside clothing, blah 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 blah. Let me see, I read that already. The officer ordered the three into the store. He removed petitioner's overcoat, took out a revolver, and ordered the three to face the wall with their hands raised. Patted down the outer clothing of Clint, Chilton, and Katz, and seized a revolver from Chilton outside overcoat pocket. So I mean, when police are actually doing the right thing, hey, what can you do about it? They're actually doing the right thing. Let them do their job. But when they're just looking for something, these guys were obviously being suspicious. They had weapons on them. They're going back and forth, looking at the same, looking at the same store window, probably looking to see a good opportunity. And I get it. Nobody wants to get robbed. We don't want to get robbed when we're out here, guys. Nobody wants to be involved in a gun pointed at your face or being held up. Give me all your money. Nobody wants to go through that. So I get it. These guys have a job to do. But when you're just picking and choosing who you're going to detain for your own personal gain, that's just bad policing, man. That's horrible. And I hate to see something like that, Okay, so they recovered 2 revolvers. Okay. And then he did not put his hands under the outer garments of Katz since he discovered nothing in his pat down which might have been a weapon or under petitioner's or Chilton's outer garments until he felt the guns. The 3 were taken to the police station. Petitioner and Chilton were charged with carrying concealed weapons. Okay, so you know what? In a case like this, yeah, if you're going to use Terry versus Ohio, tell me what have I done to look suspicious? How do you explain that I'm casing a joint? These are questions that you got to start throwing back at them, because if you just say, "Oh, I'm good," or "I'm just right here hanging out," "Oh yeah, this guy's vulnerable. Let's get him." So it's like you got to kind of study just a little bit, just know just a little bit more out here, guys, like Terry versus Ohio. Because if they're going to throw Terry versus Ohio at you, then they have to have reasonable suspicion that you're about to commit a crime, committing a crime, or committed a crime, or you're in the process of about to commit it. They can't just all of a sudden say, "Oh yeah, you're being detained because you're committing a crime. You're unlawfully," And then it's not even like they came up and said, "Oh, Terry versus Ohio says I have the right to blah blah blah." It's like, yeah, you're trespassing right now. What are you doing here? It's like, dude, what do you mean? What am I doing here? So another thing that I sent them was this one right here. And this is Prunier Shopping Center versus Robbins. And this was a group of high school students or something that were doing a petition or something like that at the mall. And they all got arrested for trespass. But, he should have threw this right back at the cop. Oh, yeah, well, Prunier Shopping Center versus Robbins. Eat that, The dispute. This is the old case too. This is November 1975, so it's been known for decades that we have rights to film, we have rights to gather, we have rights to petition in any public place, whether it be the mall, the city hall, the police department, you know. Um, it could be like a Walgreens, you know. So anyway, this group of high school students set up a table at the Prunier Shopping Center, okay, in Campbell, California, seeking signatures from passerbyers for a petition they wish to send to the U.S. The United Nations, following the UN's commendations of Zionism as a form of racism and racial discrimination. The shopping center security guard asked them to leave because they had not obtained permission from the shopping center's owner. The students sued the shopping center for violating their rights under the First Amendment, as well as their rights to petition government to redress grievance under the California State Constitution. The Santa Clara County Superior Court ruled against the students in the bias of Lloyd Court versus Clara County Superior Court, ruled against the students, in which the U.S. Supreme Court has refused to find First Amendment rights of freedom of speech on others' private property. Okay, so this is this is Prunier versus Robbins. Okay, so Prunier Shopping Center goes after Robbins, and then there's another case that actually sent them the wrong one, which is Robbins versus Prunier Shopping Center, and they pretty much they won their case. Obviously, the case was overturned. I think they took it to a federal court. Let's see, in America. Okay, in American constitutional law, this case established two important rules. Under the California Constitution, individual may peacefully exercise their right to free speech in parts of private shopping centers, regularly held open to the public, subject to reasonable regulations adopted by the shopping centers. Okay, so for example, if you're at the mall and if you pull out your phone and you start filming, I think there's designated areas where you're allowed to conduct your business. Like anywhere there's seating areas, anywhere there's like a food court, lounge seating areas, anything like that. I think there are rules, and it really depends on where you're going. But I think like any shopping, like a mall, they might have some type of policy put in place that they don't want you filming inside of their stores due to proprietary information, problems. Not because, oh yeah, you can't film here, but they just don't want you to steal their products, so to say. They don't want you to copy what they're doing, so they'd rather have you filming in a common lobby area or a gathering area than to be, obviously walking around with your camera filming everything in the store. So if you guys got a chance, go ahead and my vision's really bad, so I have horrible reading. But if you guys want to look at this case a little bit deeper, definitely go check it out, guys. And let me see if I can find the other one real quick. Robbins versus Prunier. Let me just use this tab right here. Sorry, guys. That's pretty interesting, to hear one of our guys right here sharing this information, because it's like, if these cops are going to start throwing case law, we're going to have to start throwing it back at them, And this guy was just kicking it on a mall parking lot, and all of a sudden the cops come up talking about trespass. Well, first of all, somebody has to trespass. Like, the owner of the property has to trespass them. So I mean, at a mall, that's going to be like the mall, the property owner of the mall. That's a pretty big deal when they're just saying, "Hey, we want this guy out of here." It's like, how do you know he wasn't waiting for somebody to pick him up, or you know, just taking a siesta real quick? You know what I mean? What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. Oh, that's the wrong one. Damn it. Yeah, so that's craziness, man. Okay. I think this is it. Okay, so Supreme Court ruled that California can interpret its state constitution to protect political protesters from being evicted from private property. Right there, guys. Held open to public without running afoul of the Fifth Amendment. In this case, California court went beyond the federal rule and held that under California Constitution, a shopping mall owner could not exclude a group of high school students who were engaged in political advocacy. The state court decision has been adopted in one form or another by the substantial minority of states. So, in other words, I mean, they, these guys won the case. It was ruled that Pruneyard, the owner of the shopping center, had no right to dismiss these individuals from their activity. And it could be an individual story. You could be like, you could be for like an example of how you can protect yourself is you can be live on the internet, by yourself, but you have a group of individuals on your live stream, and you might be talking about something in particular, and that's already constituting your rights to be there, under this Prunier Shopping Center versus Robbins, because the moment that you open up a social media page and you start talking about something, and if they don't like what you're doing, they have no right to kick you out of there, because whatever you're protesting, whatever your reasoning of being live or recording at that moment, it could be a story on something, you could be following up on a story, you could be talking about just random traffic at the mall. You have every right to be there and to do what you got to do. But this is why we fight so hard when it comes to getting kicked out of public places. And you know what the problem is the cops don't know about this. The cops, they have no regards for case law, except for the ones that they use against you. But the ones that are used against them, Nah, they don't. You tell them Pruneyard versus Robbins, and they're gonna be like, "What's that?" You know, they have no, they have no idea, and they don't even care about the case laws to protect the people. See, case added jurisprudence addressing free speech on private property. You know, I have every right to, you know, come and protest and to be on my social media by myself, even if it's not a group of individuals, you know, with a table set up, getting signatures. You know, it doesn't have to be that extensive. It could be just you on your social media, you know, talking about a story, talking about, you know, anything. You know, you could be talking about the birds and the bees, but you chose a specific place to do it. You know, they don't have the right to kick us out. You know, we've exercised, you know, these rights before. We've done audits at malls and shopping centers, and we've got kicked out of a couple. You know, but I'm not going to say that, oh, you know, that was the right thing to do, to just leave, or, you know, after we protest and we, you know, express our grievance and, um, you know, let them know that they're breaking the law, then yeah, okay, then I'll go ahead and leave. But I'm going to let you know that you're in violation, you know. It, there's no reason in getting arrested, you know, for every situation that you run across, you know, especially if you have something going on for yourself, you know, like if you have, you know, I don't recommend go stand up for your rights and get arrested every time, because if you have something going on in your life, who has time for that? You know, who has time to go to jail and get booked in and get released and pay a bail and all this other crap? You know, like a lot of people out here, they'd rather just walk away because they have other things going on. They have you know, a job to go to tomorrow. They have family to take care of. They have kids to pick up from school. So you know what we do? We just go ahead and, you know, oh, they're telling us to leave. Let's just go. Nobody stands up for our rights. You know, nobody knows, you know, little details like this that'll keep people from, you know, bullying you around, especially like security guards in shopping centers. You know, I know it's a little bit more extensive when I show up with my big old rig and all my fancy gear and stuff, and it looks all professional, and they're like, oh yeah, this is something else. Get them, you know. But no matter of you know what equipment I have in my hands, you know, they shouldn't be abusing their authority just to get what they want. And we did one of these audits at where was it at? One of the the walk-in malls. I think it's
And another one to it.
I think it's I don't remember which one it is, but I think it's right off of the I think it's off of the 91. I don't remember. But anyways, it was one of those walk-in malls where you walk around on the outside. It's an outside mall, you know. And they showed up, and we told them right there, you know, like, oh, you guys got to leave because you're going to be arrested for trespassing. Like, no, man, Premier versus Robbins, you can't arrest us. You know, there's case law. You can't just go around telling people to leave because you want to, you know. But obviously that day, you know, we left because we warned them, you know, we gave them a warning, and they told us all go out to the sidewalk, and we're like, no, we're going this way. So we walked straight across to the parking lot to the other side. Yeah, Citadel, that's the one, Paulie. That's the one, dude. But you know, redos are very important when it comes to a situation like that where they actually had us leave, and you know, we're not so, you know, versed on the law where we can you know, start stating, you know, case laws and what it says and stuff like that. So I think being more prepared, doing some of these audits, being a little bit more prepared, I think we'll be successful. And we have been successful at other malls where they try to kick us out, and then we tell them to show us the policy, and it says nothing about, you know, filming in general areas. It might say something about filming inside the stores or something like that. But I mean, if you guys do want to challenge that, I mean, it's, you know, something to look into. You got the case law to back you up, and then look at the policy of the the facility and make sure you're all good, and then hell yeah, do it, you know. But you know, I never recommend anybody to push it to the point of getting arrested, because I mean, come on, everybody, you know, everybody has, you know, things going on in life, you know, got plans going on later on, you know. And what about public parks? Yeah, you're fine in public parks. You know what? Let me bring that back a little bit. I know that there is some type of policies for public parks, but you got to remember that policy is not the law either. But this Robbins versus Pruneyard does not apply to public parks. But I'd like to see them challenge, you know, in a public park, you know, and see what they come up with. But they definitely come out with their little policy in hand and stuff like that. And obviously, if you want to stand up for your rights, you're going to say policy doesn't oversee the law. You know, it doesn't. Policy is not law. You know, you can't throw a policy at me because I'm exercising my rights. But a lot of people think, oh yeah, these guys are out here suing everybody and blah blah blah. Like, no, dude, we're just out here, you know, to as more of as an advisory, you know, more of a, you know, being informative and educational for the cops, especially because a lot of these cops don't know what the hell they're doing out here. They're too green, you know. I'm not gonna say that I know what I'm doing completely, guys. I'm green too, you know, but if I learn something, then I'll exercise it, you know. And that's the way it has to be, you know, because if not, if we don't use our rights, we lose them, guys. And that's where we're at. Oh man, excuse me, guys, still a little bit sick here. PLA needs me? Sick. Yeah, but yeah, read up on that stuff, man. Don't take my word for it. Go read it yourself, you know. I'm just letting you know there's sources available for you all here, you know, but you definitely want to read it yourself and get a little bit more better understanding, you know, in your perspective, the way you understand it. Polyglocks, Ghost Hunters Unite. Sick. I forgot to make my Ghost Hunter channel. I'm going to do it right now. You just reminded me. We got to take out that guy. What was that guy's name? Yeah, but definitely do your research, guys. Don't take my word for it. I'm no legal advisor. I'm no professional. You know, you definitely want to do your own research and get the facts for yourself. You know. But yeah, guys, definitely information out there for you, and it's used. It, you know, it's good if you use it, because if you don't know the law and if you get harassed by the cops, and if you don't know just a little bit, then man, they'll run all over you. The moment they see that you're vulnerable to them being there, or you have any type of like nervousness going on, or you don't want to talk to the cops, oh man, they run all over you quick, you know. And that's why I always shut them down right away, either with silent treatment or don't touch me, or you know, hey, blah blah blah, under what law? Oh yeah, this law, that law. And you know, you argue it a little bit, you know. But I never recommend for anybody to take that ride, because there's these lawyers out here, they're not willing to fight against the police for civil rights, for something simple, you know. They want you to have your arm broken or shot in the back or paralyzed for somebody to take you serious about your civil rights, when we're right here today making sure it doesn't get to that point, and you know, putting these fools in check before it gets to that point. And yet they deny us those services because we're not injured, we don't have a broken neck or a gunshot wound or something like that. So they don't take us serious, guys. So that's why I said you definitely don't want to you know, go out there, get arrested, you know, standing up for your rights, you know, because look how many times I've been arrested, you know, and nobody's willing to take these cases because we're out there standing up for our rights and telling the cops to F off. And the reason for that is, because, we take it to the next level and we start, giving them the verbal judo and telling them that they're trash and get back to work and F off, pig, and this and that. Like once you get verbal with them, nobody wants to touch it anymore, So, just stay professional, choose your battles carefully, like Paulie says. And if you think it's something that's worth fighting for, then you go for it, But to be honest, guys, I mean, these lawyers, unless you have somebody that's actually going to say, hey, if something happens to you, I got your back, then do what you got to do, But if you don't have somebody like that, hey, I recommend that you don't get involved, guys, because it's too much of a headache getting arrested, trying to process, trying to get a lawyer to listen to you, first of all. And then once they, know what's going on, oh, you're a First Amendment guy. Oh, no, yeah, no, we can't do nothing for you. Sorry, we can't take this case. It's like, seriously? And yeah, you can file yourself, but I mean, without knowing the law, I mean, what good is that, If I'm just going to get up and question their authority and not know exactly, the verbatim of, statutes and laws and stuff like that, it's not worth it. You're going to lose every time. And never forget, the truth never lies. Yeah, but definitely great source is the public law library. I know that there's like a black law book or something like that actually shows you how to beat cases. So anybody that either has access to one or knows about it, share the info. You gotta we definitely gotta help each other out here. But I don't have a black law book, if you want to know. I really haven't been interested in suing the cops, because that's not what I'm out here. I'm out here to educate the people and to show them how to defend yourself in a situation against the cops. Verbal judo or walk away or I don't answer questions or silent treatment. And Ricky got his own on Amazon. There it is. But it's and also if you have the time and the money and the effort to do it, just but you got to be careful out here, guys, because these guys work against us at all costs. The government's working against the people. Law enforcement's working against the people. It seems like lawyers are more on law enforcement side, unless you're like either dead or half dead or broken somewhere, then they don't take you serious. They don't even when I got arrested in Lake Elsinore, they didn't want to take that case either because we were out there doing the shandu, oh shit, my friend, what is problem? Blah, 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 blah. And to show that to a court of law and for them to vote in our favor, impossible, guys, impossible. But I'd rather be out here and stand up for our rights and show these cops that, hey, not everybody is going to bend over to your command, and the more that people know how to defend their rights, the better it's going to be for them, because we don't need we definitely don't need to deal with this corrupt behavior. We could definitely make change by filing complaints, guys. That's another thing. It's very important. If you ever run into a situation with an officer that you feel like either he violated your rights or abused his authority with you, you got to file a complaint, because if you don't file a complaint, he's just going to get away with it and nobody's ever going to know. There's going to be no history. You definitely want that paper trail, so when he goes to apply for a sergeant or a FTO, they're going to see all these oh yeah, he violated this person, he violated that person, and it might be this one guy that's doing it to a lot of people, And you know what? And nobody will ever know because we never go to the station and we don't file those complaints. But I think now more than ever, especially because they're not taking us serious with lawsuits or anything like that. The one thing you got to do is file those complaints, because you're not just helping yourself, you're helping the next guy. You're helping the next guy that actually, suffered something worse than you. And then they look at his record. No, this is he's a well decorated officer. He has no prior complaints. This is seems like an isolated incident. No, if the history is there in his record, then they're gonna know that this guy has done it multiple times or has a history of being a bad cop. So those complaints are important. I try to file as many as I can. Either on scene, at the station, whatever. But you need a database for bad cops, hit me up. We do, MacArthur Park. We do need one. Yeah. That's another thing that me and the guys were talking about. There has to be some type of like MacArthur Park is talking about, like some type of database where all these guys are already in the system somewhere, and and that way people are beware for these officers. Like Officer Guerra that lied in court, this guy lied out of his teeth, just to try to have me convicted. He wanted me to, face the charges and pay the fines and everything, and I didn't stand for that. I fought for my rights that day and I won, but cops like that, they need complaints filed on them so that there's a history, and you could say, look, Judge, I filed complaints. Maybe we should look into this officer, see if there's anything else we should know about, and when the judge looks into that and sees that this officer has multiple incidents of complaints, then it works in your favor as well. Not only the next person that he abuses, but it works in your favor as well. So yeah, it's crazy, man. But anyways, the thin blue line flag, man, it's gonna be interesting to see how the officers are taking that, and what they think about it. Obviously they're not gonna want to talk to us about it, but we're definitely gonna throw it in their face, like, man, the chief's taking away your gang, huh? Your gang flag or whatever, your desecration flag. Crazy, huh? News. You gotta get public records before the complaint. They'll say he's under investigation. Yeah. D News, that is correct. I have tried to get public records before and then file a complaint, and then they don't give it to you because they say, oh, we can't give you any information. This is under investigation. So that's actually a good point. You have to get the public records before the complaint. And I think to get the public records, you're gonna have to request with the judge. So that's a whole other process. So just be aware of that, guys. It's really not that easy just to go and say, hey, give me I want your body cam footage. You actually have to go get it subpoenaed through the court, and then they have to give it to you after that, So it's a process, guys, but it's doable, and I'm still in the learning curve, so that's why you don't see me with all kinds of body cam footage, or I'd have every incident, a body cam footage for every incident that I've been involved with the cops, But I'm gonna start working on that, actually, trying to get that body cam footage for a lot of situations, especially when they come up, guns drawn and all that, pedo. Is that down, Chivato? You wipe your ass with it? Sick. Hell yeah. Make sure that you sharded first, though. Can we get a taco night? Nitty Wicker? You need to see the tacos or you need to eat some tacos. What's up, Gio? That's my G right there. Nice. Look at this. Police in New York pushed, and now all police officer records are available. Nice. That's what we got to do, guys. We got to start pushing the issue. You know, because if not, they're never going to listen to us. You know, they're never going to make change. They're so comfortable with the way things are now because I'm sure that they don't get. Like I'm sure 9 times out of 10, nobody's complaining about situations with the cops, because number one, they probably don't know that it's a thing to go file a complaint on an officer. So that's why we're out here educating people. Hey, file a complaint, blah, 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 get it in their history so that there's a record. Without that, I think we're going nowhere, without letting the people know, hey, this is what you need to do. And let's file these complaints and make sure this guy has a history on him. So when he applies for sergeant, he'll get denied, No, too many negative reports, denied. You're not a good leader. Get out of here. It could work both ways. They might say, hey, it looks like you violate everybody's life. You're a great leader. Hired. Let me in. But yeah, there definitely has to be like more of a citizens committee that looks at these complaint forms and actually from a citizen standpoint actually make a decision on if this officer should be reprimanded or not, because a lot of these complaints that we file, they're all submitted to the sergeant of the station, and who knows if it even makes it through the back door. It might just make it through the window and then into the trash. Like they don't take any complaints serious. So that's why it's better to file online, if you ask me, because that way there's nobody with their hands on it. It's already submitted. It's in the system. Nobody has to go scan it in or nothing. It's there, and I think that's a better way of going at it. Doing it on the internet. Obviously they have your IP address and all that BS, but come on. If we're going to be filing complaints, they're going to have to know who you are anyways, right? Unless you're just reporting as good citizen or something. But what's the point of that? We have to not be afraid to show these cops who we are, not be afraid to give them our name and not be afraid to file complaints, because, without that practice, we're going nowhere, guys. We're going nowhere. But, yeah, I try to file, as many complaints as I can, and I'll go in there and do it with them. Oh, can I have your ID? They try to scare you with, can I have your ID? Yeah, it's right here, man. Here you go. Oh, okay. They think that all auditors are undercover, they don't want to share their information. Hold on, guys. Is that down? That's for the cops tonight. Stick it in my pocket. Hey, back up. Hold on. Oh, woo! It's going to be a good one. So how about that thin blue line, officer? It's gone. Woo! Is that down? Celebration. Oh, my God. Gave me a whole, what'd you say? It gave me a whole other look towards law enforcement encounters and how to deal with it. Yeah, man, freak out. You have to, even if you just exercise just a little bit, say, hey, man, I don't answer questions. That's already exercising your rights to the fullest, Hey, where are you coming from? Like all that information they ask you for when they pull you over, I don't answer questions. Another thing that you guys got to remember is that Red Bull flask. I know, fill it with Red Bull. Sick. What was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. Damn it. Brain fart. Anyways, yeah, whatever. Screw me. I don't care. But yeah, the complaints are very important. Get back to that. What do you guys think? What are the questions you guys got, real quick? Everything, my friend. Yeah. Oh, that's what I was saying. Yeah. Duh. Yeah. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law, guys. Yeah. So remember that. If all that information that they're asking you for, it's all voluntary. Even though they're trying to be real nice. Hey, man. So where are you coming from and this and that? Hey, I'll answer questions like that, man. What are you talking about? I don't have to tell you where I'm going or why I'm here in this city or where I'm coming from. What they want to hear you say is, "Oh, it's coming from the bar, having a good old time, woo!" Oh, you might be suspicious of DUI, acting a little bit strange. The less you can say, the better. And remember, when they ask you for ID, it's not the law. It's not the law, guys, unless you're the driver of the vehicle. You don't have to ID yourself. Even if they take you out and put you in handcuffs. But you know what? They're gonna get your ID because you probably have your wallet, in the car or on yourself. But exercise your rights, guys. Tell them that they don't have your authorization to violate your rights and to violate your Fourth Amendment, violate your Fifth. I plead the Fifth. I remain silent. I don't answer questions. But we definitely got to start exercising our rights out here, especially when they start asking us, hey, especially with every question they ask you, remember they're recording you. So they're trying to get you to incriminate yourself, first of all, by asking you any of these questions. Like, for example, last Sunday when the cop came up from behind me and he grabs my arm like this, and I'm holding my rig like this, and then he grabs my arm from the bottom, and then he grabs my shoulder and he has me like this. He has me like this, one hand under the arm and then another arm on the shoulder. So he has me secure on this side, and my taser's mounted on the right. So he starts asking for ID. And right away I'm like, for what law? For what law? What law did I break? Oh, I'm asking for ID. Well, I don't answer questions. You don't have a right to, search me. I plead the Fourth. I plead the Fifth. Oh, and then his thing is, well, I could still ask. So you guys got to remember, he's just asking. If they're asking you questions, if they're asking you for information, it's all voluntary, guys. You don't have to give that stuff up unless you're being accused of a crime, or if you're being arrested, or if they're going to ticket you. I would never give them my information. You know what I mean? Because once they say that you're being arrested, then what more can you do? They're going to run you in. They're going to ID you at the station anyway. So, at that point, yeah, whatever. My name is this. Hurry up, Let's go. Let me in. But don't voluntarily give up information, guys. That's our fault, and it's our fault for being ignorant in that aspect, because the first thing we do is we just start, oh yeah, no, I'm good. We're coming from the mall, and then we went to my friend's house. We stopped at Susie's house, picked up Paul. Now we're on our way to pick up Robert that has all the liquor, and then we're gonna go party at Tim's. It's like, no, they don't need to know anything. All they need to know is, here's my license registration. I don't answer any more questions. It's really hard for me to do that because I always want to, for what? What am I? What are you pulling me over for? For what? And start going at it with them. But honestly, even for myself, the best thing to do is pass them the information. You pull me over for a reason. Give me my ticket. I'll be on my way. Have a good day. And that's it. Like, no more questions asked. No more questions answered. Last night when they had those fools under the bridge, that they found those little bags of drugs or whatever. They were right there ratting each other out. The officer would pull one, and he, over here talking to him secretly, and then he'll pull the other one, talk to him secretly, get the other one, talk to him secretly. So it's like They're all incriminating themselves. If they all would have said, I don't answer questions and this is not mine, you know, they're going to have to prove without reasonable doubt that that's your stuff and that it belongs to you, you know, no matter if they have to DNA it or whatever, you know, whatever they do to get that process done. But once you admit, yeah, that's mine, it's over. You're convicted, you know. Any lawyer will tell you guys, even if you're wrong, do not answer questions. The cops are not there to help. Those interrogations are designed to trip you up so that you incriminate yourself. Oh, well, Mr. Gonzalez, during the interrogation, you said that you had this on you and you said that you pulled it out. Remember? You know, you said that you pulled it out and pointed, you know, your weapon, or you pointed pepper spray, or so the least you can say in that situation, nothing that you say is going to get you out there, get you out of there quicker or longer, you know. No matter what you say, they have to charge you for whatever crime it is. They have to process you, and then they have to release you or send you to see the judge, no matter what, you know. So all that information you're giving them is not helping yourself. It's only helping them build a case, you know. So, you know, take that, then blue line, you know. So yeah, they all PC'd up real quick and ratted each other out. That's how. Jap up. They got scared and ratted themselves out big time. You know it. Yeah. I mean, even in a situation where they're just coming up and saying, hey, what are you guys doing here? Oh, I don't answer questions. You guys hear me say it all the time. I don't answer those type of incriminating questions. Hey, you have a gun on you? Oh, I don't answer those questions. What the hell? Oh, let me see what you got right there. You can see with your eyes, man. Leave me alone. You know? I do it all the time, you know, and what happens? All right, have a good day. They just walk away. Hey, can I get your ID? No, you can't. All right, have a good day. You know, and believe me, you know, unless you've committed a crime or they're accusing you of doing something illegal, you don't have to give up your information, even if you're detained. Especially when you're detained, they have to tell you what crime you've committed and what you're being accused of. And then if it's something that you don't agree with, of course, you're going to say, I don't answer questions, you know? Oh, yeah, well, we seen you doing tagging on the wall. You know, oh, yeah, I was just putting my name. Busted. You know? Oh, I see you tagging on the wall. I don't answer questions, man. I don't know what you're talking about. You know, so, you know, you gotta save yourself from from facing the judge and the judge telling you that you incriminated yourself, because that happened to me before. You know, I incriminated myself once. Well, you know, I got caught tagging on the bus, you know, back when I was young. I was, you know, putting my name on the window or whatever, scribing it up, you know, all sick. And then somebody ratted me out when they were getting off the bus. They ratted me out. So when we got to the last stop, the bus driver, you know, comes up and she's like, oh, yeah, next time, you know, don't be riding on my bus or something like that. And I just ignored her. I just got off the bus and took off walking. And next thing you know, the sheriff's come up. I was young, you know, I was still a kid, so I didn't know. So the cops come up and they're like, yeah, you know why we're stopping you? Yeah, because I was tagging on the bus. Oh, come here. Boom, 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 you know. I ratted myself out, dude. I learned the hard way. Never talk to the cops, you know. Don't give them a statement. You know, save that for your lawyer if you need one, you know. That's a good question, Carol Green. 20 minutes the max they can detain you without a crime? Yeah. And those guys yesterday that were drinking, they actually committed a crime. They were drinking in public, open container in public. So they had a reason to detain those guys. But if they just come up on you and they're trying to find a crime on you, like they only have 20 minutes to do that, and then they have to let you go. They don't have a crime, you know. And these cops, they don't follow that, you know. They definitely want to waste your time as much as they can. They think you don't know the law, so they abuse their authority, you know, and they keep you there handcuffs for an hour. You know, it's unreasonable. But reasonably speaking, 20 minutes. If you're not writing me a ticket in within 19 minutes, you better get ready to take these cuffs off, because I gotta go. I got places to go. Let me in. Is it legal for us to lie? Lie about what? Just don't answer questions. You don't have to lie about anything. I wouldn't answer anything, man. Is she be asking us to be sober? Never. Never, but I'm saying don't get caught drinking on the sidewalk. That's for damn sure. And if you are drinking on the sidewalk, be smart about it. Don't hold the container in your hand while the cops are passing by. That's incriminating right away, But I appreciate the comment, B-boy. But no, I'm not asking you to be sober. I'm asking you to be safe and know your rights and know what you're doing out here, because if you're drinking in public, you put your drink down and the cops pass by and they see it. What are they going to say? You're drinking in public? Well, did you see me drinking in public, or do you see an open container? Because that's not mine, That's not mine. I don't answer questions. Whose container is that? I don't answer questions. So, it's really up to you. It all falls back on you how you're going to handle that situation. Those guys could have easily said, whatever they wanted, and in a court of law, when the judge starts questioning, the officers, okay, so these guys were drinking in public. Did you see them with a beer in their hands? No. Do you have any video evidence of them drinking in public? No, but there was open containers. Well, those open containers could have been anybody's, So, man, you guys gotta not incriminate yourselves, and legally speaking, if those fools last night, if they got detained for open containers, but they all said, I don't answer questions, that's not mine, I don't, and if they get whatever, they still have to go face the judge. So, the judge has the final say. Just with like my case with Guerra, I thought for sure he had pulled my card already, I was like, damn, I'm gonna lose this one. But once I started defending my freedom and exercising my rights, questioning our authorities, I was able to get off of that ticket because I did when he asked me to get back on the curb and get back on the sidewalk, or I'm gonna give you a ticket. That's the direction I took. I started walking towards the sidewalk, and when he parked his car, I was already back on the sidewalk. So even though it might have been a situation where it looked like a bad situation, it's really up to you how it ends, and obviously how you handle it in the process, But I thought I was going to lose that case because he had video evidence, and then I didn't even watch the video before I went to court, guys. So I couldn't even remember everything at that moment, I really had no visual of that day in that moment, except for, obviously the questioning I gave him. But when I went back and looked at it, the officer tried to say that we had cameras in his face, we were, bothering them, they couldn't work. He said he couldn't do his job. He said he lied and said that they had a call for backup, and then backup pushed us back, which was a total lie because backup showed up and they didn't even talk to us. They didn't even look at us. And so, all these lies that he's telling the judge, he lost. He straight lost. He lost. And then he tried to say that the judge gave me a pass or did me a favor. It's like, not really, dude. Like, you actually thought you can just treat people like this and get away with it. That's the problem. That is the problem, guys, because these officers are not kept accountable. So they're gonna keep on doing it. Guerra, that Officer Guerra guy, he's a two-striper, he's a training officer. What do you think he's training all these officers out here? Why do you think they act like this? Why do you think they're abusing their authority and mistreating people? Because that's what their training officer showed them. So without change, without putting those fools in their place, things are never going to change. But it all starts with us, guys. We're the ones that are out here with the radar on us. We're the ones with the radar, guys, not them. But now for us, they're on the radar. The cops are on the radar when we're out there cop watching. So that's why they hate us so much. Oh yeah, these guys are always following us around. They always try to manipulate the people to be against us as well. There was a traffic. One of our last traffic stops that we got last night was a group of youngsters that she didn't have a license, so they towed the vehicle and everything. And obviously they're over there in their ear telling them, oh yeah, they get paid and this and that. So right away the girl, oh, you're gonna put this on YouTube? You guys get paid for this? Oh, I don't want you to do this. I don't want you to do that. Like all of a sudden, it's like these people are turning against us when they have no clue what we're out there doing. But when we walked up, talked to the other youngsters that were right there on the corner, told them, hey, we're out here to protect your rights, make sure that you're not mistreated, and they treat you guys fairly, and whatever, just keeping it honest. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh hell yeah, thank you. We didn't know that. We're over here telling you guys F off and this and that, but now we're like, supporting you guys and whatnot. So like these cops work against us and they'll turn us against each other. That's how we end up, on the streets against each other out here, guys. And the only one that's winning is them. They're the only ones that are winning when they turn people against us and they drive off and leave us all there in the scene, and something happens. And then, they're not quick to respond, they don't care. They don't care what happens to us on the streets, guys. But I can say that I've met a handful of, officers that respect our rights and respect what we do, and they don't bother us, they say, hey, what's up, and have a good night and be safe out there. And that's cool, yeah, that's cool. Thanks for being concerned, But I'm not going to say that those cops are not violating your rights when we're not around. I'm sure they are. I'm sure they're still questioning you, getting everybody's ID, running everybody through the system, and that's just designed to have you fail, because what happens is if you do have a warrant, guess what? You're going to jail. Oh yeah, and you didn't have to ID because you're just a passenger in a vehicle. Jose, if you FOIA request all of documents that lying cops made against you that night, plus match the video up, confirms lies, you could send shockwaves by sending the complaint to the news. Is that down? I could, I have to see if I can FOIA request the audio for that court case. Man, that would prove so much, guys. Oh my god. I'm gonna work hard on that. I'm gonna definitely try to get it. What's up, Only 64? I'm definitely gonna try to get that audio from that court, because man, that guy he lied out of his teeth, man, so bad. I was looking at him like, what the fuck? I was so surprised. And then the judge was like, oh, there were a group of them showed up. How many? Oh, it was about 3 of them. Oh, okay. And then they were like getting in our faces and we couldn't do our job, and backup had to push them back. And they were calling us names, and they were being belligerent and rude. And he was calling me stupid, and he was calling me this and that. And then I couldn't remember, so I was like, damn, did we really show up like that and just start going off on them or what? But then I'm thinking freedom of speech, I'm already like light bulbs going off in my head while this guy's over here lying. And I'm like, freedom of speech, I can say whatever the hell I want to anybody I want, unless I threaten you, it's not against the law. So I took that ball and I run with it, I'm like, yeah, even though you said that I was saying all this stuff, one of the questions I wanted to ask him and I forgot was if he was enforcing the law with his feelings. Are you the feelings police? Imagine in front of the judge. Are you the feelings police, sir? Are you enforcing the law with your feelings? Let me in. Yeah, but no, we got to get that audio. That audio is gold right there, man. And but yeah, lying cops, man, you got to get rid of them. You know, you gotta fire them and hire some good, honest people that want to serve the community and make things different, make a change in the community, bridge those gaps, and bring community members together, bring, stop the color lines and increase the love, stop the hate, But, until we see that day, guys, we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do. Let's see what other questions we have right here. Have I done audits in Temecula? Lots of Karens and tyrants. Yeah, we've done a couple audits in Temecula. I mean, I don't think it's been that bad, but you know what? You never know. Gotta go visit again. Let's see, what can I do when I don't get my FOIA request? They answered it, but will give me nothing, and I don't know where I can go. Okay, Jeff, when they tell you that it has to be subpoenaed by the court, so you got to go and get a court order for them to release the video or audio or records, whatever you're trying to get. It's possible. It's very possible. All you got to do is go down to the court and tell them that you want to petition the judge to for a FOIA request, and they'll set you up. Set you up with an appointment, and you'll go see the judge and let them know what you're requesting and why. And then if it's ordered by the judge, man, you got your information right there, man. But remember, it actually works different in every state. So find out what the local law is there. Go see somebody at the records department at the city hall. See if they can guide you in a better direction. But it is possible. I get those letters all the time when I go and ask for FOIA requests, and they'll give me like maybe 2% of what I asked for, and everything else is unable to release information due to this, unable to, you'll need a FOIA request for this, for that, I think I did that when we got detained and kicked out of a USPS over there in Placentia, California. We went down to the police station after that, and I filled out a form for a FOIA request, and I just marked everything. There was like a bunch of check marks, and I just marked them all. And then when the sergeant looked at it, he's like, "Oh, you want all that?" I'm like, "Yeah, well, whatever you're going to give me, I'm requesting everything." Another thing, Jeff, you have to worry about in those type of situations is if it's under investigation, they won't give you any information. Like, let's say you filed a complaint on the officer, but now you want the body cam. It's not going to happen because they got to investigate, which probably takes like a year, because nothing's fast. Everything is super slow with the government, designed to work super slow. And by that time comes around, like there's been so many cases I forgot about that I never followed up on because they take so long to respond, and then everything is a 6-month waiting game, pretty much. So yeah, I would try to petition the judge to get you that information before, if you're going to do that, before you file a complaint. But it's all a process. I hope you guys have time if you're actually looking into doing stuff like that, because it's all time consuming. It doesn't cost a lot of money to get it done, but it will send you through a loop, and you'll be pulling your hair out, trying to figure it out. Yeah, if it's still under investigation, Jeff, they're not going to give you anything, dude, for real. You're just gonna have to wait. I don't know. I guess you can probably do another request, and if they say that they couldn't get it to you because it's under investigation, then you just have to wait. But if they say that we're unable to give you this information because you need a court order, yeah, that's all green light right there. You go to the judge and ask them to to get you what you need, you know, video, audio, whatever it is, records requests, whatever you're looking for. Yeah, man. So who's worse, Guerra or Murphy? I would say Guerra for sure, because this guy literally tried to lie to manipulate the system. Murphy, I mean, he's a tyrant, you know, and he's like unhinged, and he got his ass beat in the what protest was that? One of the protests in LA. That's what he got beat up, you know, and you know, but Guerra tried to literally lie to manipulate the system. He thought the judge was just going to listen to his word and believe him without seeing the video or anything. But I would have loved, actually, if they would have showed that video, man, because we were so cool that day. Like, we literally just rolled up and we were so quiet, just filming right there for a long time until a backup shows up. And I'm like, damn, why is there so many officers here? Like, that's when I started questioning stuff, when all the cops showed up, you know? There's 2 training officers, 2 rookies, plus I think there was like 5 officers there that day. So there was like, I think 2 training officers and then 3 just regular officers. Like, damn, what are you guys teaching these guys, man? To, you know, to waste people's time and to like, you know, abuse your authority, and like you could be out there training these guys to do real police work, but yeah, you're over here harassing, you know, a guy for his light is out, his brake light was out, so you need 5 officers for a brake light. But yeah, we were cool, man. We showed up cool. We were calm. We were, you know, real quiet. We weren't even talking to him until, you know, all that extra backup showed up and we started questioning that. But and then when they were about to leave, I asked the guy, hey, what did they put you over for? Oh, for a broken tail light or something. And when he turned his lights on, all his tail lights were on. Both left and right tail lights were on. So I was like, damn, they give you a fake ass ticket, man. So I stepped off the curb to the street and I asked them for their badge number. And that was it. That's what triggered them to retaliate. Oh, get on the sidewalk. I'm gonna give you a ticket for being in the roadway. Boom, puts it in reverse. And right away I'm already in the process of getting a ticket. You know, but abusive, man, abusive behavior, that Guerra guy. I think he said he had like 6 months before he retires, so that's going to be a good loss. I don't think we need officers like that in LAPD or any division, to be honest. But they definitely have the wrong officers in those training positions, though. Let's see. Hellacious J, software guy. I want to help auditors like you, Jose. Can we connect? For sure, man. Hit me up, sgbnews1@gmail.com, right there scrolling across the bottom. Definitely love to hear from you and see what you have to offer for us. That would be awesome. Yeah, we need to get some software where, you know what would be super cool is, which would probably kind of be, well, you know, it's not that impossible because Citizens app does it, where they put out a call on the radio and then it gives you the address and everything, you know? Can you make some kind of software like that, man? That's what we need. We need like a scanner tied into like a map or something that automatically pulls up the info. I know LA Captain, he streams his scanner, and then I guess whatever software he's using, it actually gives you the details of the call and the address and all that stuff. So it's possible. It's definitely possible. Sonia G, we protested placement of sexually violent predators in our community. Captain got fed up with us and told sheriffs to arrest us even though we were within our rights. We spoke with Captain. He did not deny it. When it comes to protesting, Sonia, I mean, really depends on what city or state you're in, but they can call it an illegal protest if you don't got permits. So, I mean, I'm sure you know that, and you probably got permits and stuff like that. But that's the only reason they would arrest you if you weren't doing like what they would call a proper protest or whatever, meaning that they designate an officer to your protest, and your organizer is working with the officer, trying to keep the peace. And then I think they only give you like a certain amount of hours, maybe like 2 hours or 4 hours, and then you got to shake the spot. Like they won't let you just stay there 8, 10, 12 hours. I think the city has control of the time limit and the permit and all that stuff, but that's like an organized thing. But I'm sure you knew that already. But yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible that the chief all of a sudden he doesn't care what the people are what their grievance is, and he wants to just have everybody arrested. That's sick. Sonia G, I'd like to hear more about that. If you can email me maybe with a little bit more details, love to hear about it a little bit further. Yeah, they would have to deem it violent. Exactly. The protest would have to get out of hand, and you guys, the protesters would be, having to be like causing a big disturbance or violence for them to actually have you arrested. If you guys are just there on a peaceful protest, expressing, your grievance, or discussing whatever, or telling them off or whatever, you have your freedom of speech. You could say what you want, but once it becomes an issue or violence or anything like that, that's when they have, I guess, authority to end the protest and arrest everybody involved. I don't know. I know a lot of those times when people are arrested for protesting, or they get arrested in a group like that, most of those cases are thrown out of court because it's a violation of the Constitution. We do have our rights to protest and to redress our grievance to the government, straight out. Shout out to Balfing again, only 64. Damn. You're just getting me today, huh? Shout out to Whistler. Where's Motorola at? Hurry up before I say shout out to Motorola. That's funny. That's the sound of a beast. Sick. Yeah, you know what? You're right, Will. A lot of peaceful protests get infiltrated by anarchist opportunists, and that is a very good statement, because I've seen that firsthand where we're at a BLM protest and all of a sudden there's a bunch of masked, white individuals or other raced individuals causing havoc, throwing stuff at cops, causing a big old disturbance just to get them riled up, and then they just leave, They take off, and then guess who has to deal with it? The people that are actually there protesting. So that's a very good point to pull up, to bring up right there. Appreciate that, Will. Oh, yeah. I still feel Westminster police treated you badly. I'm still waiting for a response from them, man. They never called me for a statement. I did a complaint with the sergeant on scene, and that's one that I'm going to follow up on, because yeah, there's a lot of cases that I forgot about, man. I just do so many audits and so many different cities, and yeah, sometimes you forget, stuff gets left in the back burner. But yeah, Westminster, they're horrible, man. Those guys are trash. You got to get out there and do some audits. You know what I noticed? That every time we've been to Westminster since, that the police don't respond to any audits that we do out there. But you know why that is, right? Because they know they messed up the first time. So, and they came out deep that day. They had like probably like 6 or 8 officers out there that day. EJB, all I hear is complaining. Well, that's what you're here for, to listen, right? Do your job. Do your job. Do your job and listen. Cut. Love it when you hit them with that. Please keep doing that. I love watching all your videos. I can't hit the thumbs up faster. Thank you. No más Jose. Appreciate you. Thanks. But yeah, guys. Any other questions before we go? I'm gonna cut it right here because oh shit. You know what? Never mind. Never mind. I missed my appointment. You guys were supposed to tell me when it was 5 o'clock. You bastards. Oh my god. It's all good. I'll reschedule that appointment. I'm doing well without the manager. Is that down? I just blew him off. He probably saw that I was live though, you know. Yeah, you can't blame him. You can't blame me for doing my job, you know. You told me? Sorry. Yeah, you guys tried. I just don't listen. I didn't listen. Hey, that's what happens when you're caught up in the moment. You didn't listen. When do I listen, guys? I never listen. Pepper spray looks bad enough. What are you referring to? The cannabis indica. Pepper spray looks bad enough. What are you talking about? Elaborate. Oh, is that down? Jen Wow came and picked up the rims I gave her last night. Is that down? Hell yeah. She has some sick ass, I think they're 24s. They're not 22s because they were huge. They were like, yeah, I think they were 24s because my tire size is the 24 on my 4x, and I lined them up and it was pretty much at the same height. But I think I got 20. I think I got 20-inch rims, like the stock rims on my truck, and those rims were like beast mode. Is that down? Jen Wild's not even here after I gave her a full set of rims. Couldn't even chime in and say what's up, everybody. I got the rims. Picture me rolling. Sick. Sick as Jen Wow. Where you at? Pepper spray looks bad enough. I'm still waiting for a response to that. What does that mean? What? Not sure what you're asking me, Cannabis Indica. Let me in. Let's see. Are you going out tonight? Yeah, we'll be out tonight. Me and PLA again. Probably in a couple of hours. And again, the cannabis indica, I wouldn't want to see it, but now I wonder if this escalates. I'm sure I don't want to know. What are you talking about? What's going to escalate? I'm so confused. So confused, guys. You guys know what he's talking about? Get behind me, Satan. Is that down? Hell yeah. All right, guys. We'll go ahead and end it right now. I just wanted to bring that dim blue line thing up and let you guys know what our what the future holds for us and stuff, and answer some questions. So I think we're pretty successful today. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Feel like my eye got worse. Oh no, it was this one, huh? This one? This one. Feel like my eye got worse from last night. Remember, I was complaining about, if you guys were with me last night, I was complaining about my eye. But now it's all red. It didn't get better with my sleep. Is that down? I thought I was just sleepy, but chale. Anyways, I could drive with one eye. Is that down, guys? I have to drive with one eye. I just got done cleaning my rig. Nice. Did you know you can distill rubbing alcohol to reuse it? Is that right? Sick. You know that. Pink eye, it doesn't feel like it, but I think it might be. You guys see that? Tell me. It might be pink eye, man. I was scratching my booty and then I scratched my eye. Is that down? Yeah, you never know. I probably did it when I was sleeping. I scratched my balls and then I scratched my eye. You never know. Put a tea bag on your eye. What kind of tea bag? Colini? Like a green tea bag or? Oh, you know what? My lady would mention to me earlier if I wanted a tea bag for my eye. So I think she has something there. Is that down? He and I for pink. For pink. For pink eye. Yeah. Does it? It got worse right now that I started touching it though. Oh damn! Look at this red. Let me in. It'll be all right, guys. Brown eye, herbal tea. TMI. Hey, you're a part of the feed, man. You got to be here. You got to know what's going on. TMI. And EI. Not enough info. The ghost got me. The Chanduli ghost. It's SGV News and then the number 1 right here at the bottom. Look, SGV News 1 at gmail.com. It's the number 1, not the word 1. SGV News 1 at gmail.com. Or you can also try Freedom Fight America. Freedom Fight America at gmail.com. That's my Defend Our Freedom email address. Defend Our Freedom. Super Thanks is now on Shorts, a new way to connect with fans and earn money on Shorts. Thanks. I haven't made any shorts on Defend Our Freedom, except for maybe 1 or 2. But I think that channel's next, man. We got to pump that channel up. Oh, let's see what they said. What? How? Oh, yeah. Is that down? I had a video of a man that got pulled out of a fire, and then they flagged it, and I asked for a review. I told them it was newsworthy content, and it was bringing awareness to people, not playing with fire or not leaving unattended fires, but they still flagged it and said it was inappropriate so they age restricted it. That's fine. I knew they were going to do that. All right, TMI. Let me see. Did it go through? Did the email go through? Gilbert. Damn it. That was no, I haven't got any emails. Try freedomfightamerica@gmail.com. Just spell it as it is. freedomfightamerica@gmail.com. What do you think about these companies that want to advertise on my channel? They scare me. Corporation with Alma. Hey, we want to advertise on your channel. We want you to put a 30-minute clip at the beginning of your video. And then they say, oh, this can pay you like $1,000 or something. But I'm like, hell no, delete that message, delete the next one. Yeah, I got the email. Got it. Delicious J in the house. Let's schedule a time. We'll do it, man, for a Zoom. Yeah, for sure. Let's do it. I got your info, and I'm obviously not going to put that out there, but I will give you a call to set that up. Definitely interested in what you have to offer for us, man. Love it. Appreciate it. What does that mean? What is all that? What is all that, Michael? In Guanti, skateboard, Los Angeles. Hell yeah. What is that? Peace hand, purple, blue, peace hand, purple, blue, peace hand, purple, blue, peace hand, purple, blue. Am I supposed to repeat that over and over to make magic happen or what? Appreciate you, Hellacious J. I'll contact you, probably tomorrow. Gotta get a couple things done tonight to get on the road, but yes, sir. Is that a sticker you said? Stickers. All right, guys. Stephen shares are the most corrupted as a youth. Have you ever investigated them out there? Okay, so you know what? Yes, these guys are pretty nasty out here. I remember growing up here in La Puente, in the right here in the Bassett area, and man, these cops are dirty, man. They just drive around the neighborhood, stopping anybody they want to. They see you riding your skateboard or carrying a backpack, and they pull up on you real quick, and just harass the hell out of you, search your stuff, Tyler B. All right, man. Hey, Tyler B got to show us some of his moves on a live stream. Is that down? We'll put you on panel, and we can you could teach us some moves. Are you down, Tyler B? Let me know. Let me in. Is that down? Tyler B is gonna show us some moves on a live stream. SLC News Now, APD banned the thin blue swine flag. Yes. We were talking about that earlier. Yes, they did. I'm interested to see how their community is taking it, though. Oh, Jen, wow, she showed up! I was just telling them about your new rims. Your badass new rims. Those things are sick, though, huh, Jen? Wow. You didn't even know. You didn't even know how sick they were. How dirt they were. They were pretty dirty, though. Yeah, drop you off on Skyline Drive late night. They're sick, huh? Times have changed from when we were kids, but the corruption is still the same, guys. if you don't know your rights, if you don't know the law, they will harass the hell out of you, and you know, and then we know no better. We don't know when you're young, you don't know how to defend yourself from the cops or nothing like that, you know. So it's pretty it's a life experience to run into the police for the first, you know, times of your life as a teenager, especially, you know. But yeah, they're super sketchy guys. That's why we got to teach our youngsters not to talk to the cops, and you know, get your mom on the phone right away when you're being detained and stuff like that, if you have a chance, you know, because first of all, especially if you're a minor, you know, have your mom pull up on them and regulate them. Let my son go now. Let me in. GG's East LA. Appreciate you, man. All right, guys. This will end it for now. We'll do another panel soon. If you guys have any topics you want to talk about, or is that I'm emotional. A thin blue line. Yeah, I'm crying. I'm crying. We don't have to see the thin blue line anymore, guys. Ghost hunting. I gotta start my ghost hunting channel, guys. I'll go ahead and share the link once it's set up, and then we'll give it a couple of rounds, see how it goes. Is that down? Anyways, until the next one, guys, you guys be safe out there. Safe on your travels. You guys know your rights. Always exercise your rights. Always question the authorities. Always ask for a supervisor. Even though that's backfired on me a couple of times, but hey, better to get the leadership out there that is actually the corrupt one, you know, and that way you have a reason to file a really good complaint, because the sergeant showed up and still had you, you know, ticketed or arrested or whatever, you know. So that's why that sergeant didn't show up to court with Guerra, because he was like, hell no, I'm not gonna go put my name and face on that. Goodbye. You know, when somebody comes in here being racist or talking about minors or talking about, you know, anything like that, you're gone. I don't even care. You want to give racial comments or you want to talk about like nasty stuff about kids, you're gone. Later. We won't catch you on the next one. You might be in the background lingering, but you're not going to be able to gelato first. Nice. Yeah, you're not going to be able to comment anymore. Q sticks, you just ruined that for yourself, man. Get out of here. Yeah, Alfred, we're gonna do a Ghost Hunters channel, because there was a troll on my channel yesterday, and he was like, you know, talking trash and all this stuff, and I was like, man, what kind of videos you got, or what do you do? And then somebody checked, I think Polly checked, said he was a ghost hunter, and I was like, oh, you know what, we're gonna take this guy out the game. I'm gonna start a ghost hunting channel. Is that just to piss off the trolls, take him out of his own game? I don't even know the first thing about ghost hunting, but I'm willing to take him out of the game. Sebastian, how long you been chiefing for? Forever, man. Since I was like 14 or something. For real. All right, guys. Catch you on the next one. SGB News First. And I'm out. Again, peace.